Welcome to a brand new week, and we are actually entering into, in my opinion, one of the most significant seasons of the Hebrew calendar, and that is the season of Passover to Pentecost. And this, of course, is the season where Jesus was offered as the Lamb. Passover, of course, one of the central themes of Passover is the Lamb, but we're speaking again in a prophetic and spiritual sense. And so, when we talk about Passover, we're only speaking of it prophetically and spiritually. And so, this is the week of Passover. Passover actually begins the 15th day of Nisan. The Hebrew word for Passover is Pazak, and of course, the first letter in Passover and Pazak is the letter P. And so that carries even greater significance because we're in the pay decade, and this is a decade where we want to pay attention to all pay words. And so one of the central themes of this decade is the pay and Passover. Pay, of course, speaks of the mouth. It speaks of speaking. It speaks of bringing the invisible into the reality with our mouth. We speak those things that are not as though they were, and so Passover starts the 15th of Nisan on the Gregorian calendar. That is April the 23rd, which is Tuesday of this week. I was really my plan before I got sick and went to the hospital. We were going to do a prophetic weekend where I was going to gather people as we had done during Rosh Hashanah, and we were going to speak on and reflect on Passover, the significance of the Passover lamb, Jesus Christ, and the prophetic season. But we won't be able to do that. But I will be speaking throughout this season. I'll be speaking about this season as we are transitioning from Passover to Pentecost. That is the significance of the season. At Passover, which Jesus died on the 17th day of Nisan, which will be this Thursday. He didn't die on Good Friday. I'm sorry to disappoint many of you who have subscribed to that. And we've done a lot of teaching on how the Romanized church replaced Passover with Easter. But whether it was replaced or not, the truth is Passover is the season that Jesus died. So Jesus died on the 17th day of Nisan, which will be this Thursday, and then he rose uh, before the 20th of Nisan, sometime between the 19th and the 20th. On the third day, he rose from the grave, which will be this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, 27th or the 28th. So it is a very important time for us as a prophetic people because we actually get to walk out the season that Jesus died, that Jesus rose, and then Jesus walked in the earth for 40 days. And he stayed in the earth until 40 days, almost to Pentecost, which takes us into the month of June, which is also the Hebrew month Shavan. So it's a prophetic season where we celebrate the Lamb. We consider his sacrifice for our redemption and our freedom. Uh, we also look at our deliverance from bondage into freedom. And then we look at the 40 days that Jesus appeared to the disciples and the apostles, and he spoke, and he did many things during those 40 days before he ascended to heaven, where he is now seated at the right hand of the Father. Okay. And so I want to invite you to walk with us in this 40-day season. Let's look at the prophetic significance of it. let's look at the personal significance, because Passover is also a personal time. The lamb, he died for all men, but all men have not embraced him. But look at how the lamb, look at the significance of his dying and him being the Passover. How does that relate to us? Let's look at this season, because a season is denoted by times and actions and activities and events. And so this is the week again of the crucifixion and the resurrection of Jesus. What does this mean for us this year? As many of us are walking through this season, how are we going to transition? Because the month, the 40 days is actually a time of transition where Jesus is preparing the apostles, and he is preparing his people for his next move, which was the founding of the ecclesia, the establishing of the ecclesia, and then the coming of Holy Spirit, who then came in the earth. So I hope that this is going to be an exciting season for you. I look forward every year to this season, Passover to Pentecost, and what it means to us, and what it means to us individually, and what it means to us as a prophetic people. Okay? So God bless you. Shalom. We'll see you.